Welcome back to the E3 Spectacular with Sam and I, here to tell you about the cool things that were announced at E3. Sam doesn't know the cool things that were announced at E3.
I never know.
I do. So I am here to try and test my ability to sell these things to Sam. So it's pretty cool. Well, basically, that's basically what it is. I feel like I am the press conference, and I am like, Sam, take my information, take it and buy my product, and then by the way of consumerism, I will make money.
Yeah.
So
even though you're not really involved with said thing. But
so last time we took an hour to talk about EA and Bethesda's games, which honestly were pretty good, and there was quite a bit to talk about. There's one thing somehow I left out of the Bethesda announcements.
Oh, it's out of Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's one thing, because there was a part where they talked about Fallout 4, and then they also, in those DLCs, then they talked about something else that I forgot to mention. And then they talked about the Skyrim Special Edition, all in the span of like 4 minutes, right one after another, without like any stop. So like you'll see, there's like videos of like their announcement for all those things, the DLC, the Special Edition, and this other thing were all lumped together. So I guess in my notes, it just wasn't there because they were so lumped together. But Fallout Shelter is getting an update. It's getting quests where you actually leave the shelter and have follow your people outside of the shelter and have them adventure and do things and explore places. The combat system is apparently changed. I'm assuming that basically means that combat now is based upon dragging them to something. That makes the most logical sense. They didn't really explain it, but that's my idea. And supposedly, it's coming to PC.
Oh, really?
Which is a pretty cool idea, because a lot of people don't have the space to keep it on their phones.
That is true. I basically stopped playing it because, like, I just could not.
Me too. Like, you get tired of games on your phone easier because it's like, okay, well, I can just get rid of this and have space for something else.
Yeah, and then now I can put it on my computer, which has, like, 500 more gigabytes of space.
I know. It's hilarious. It really is.
Currently open, so it's
the best.
I feel like they would have done that sooner.
Yeah. Well, that's just how things go. Plus, wow, it really has been a year since Fallout Shelter came out. That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that is.
That's crazy. Well, it was a good game. Like, a lot of people enjoyed it a lot, and I will enjoy it if it comes out and it runs well on PC, so.
Yeah, like because I saw they had a new update for it with like weapon crafting and stuff, but then I tried playing it and I'm like, I don't even like this game anymore. It's like,
yeah.
But, hopefully the update will bring me back.
Hopefully, it'll suck you back in and make you spend even more hours of your time. So, that was that. We just spent 3 minutes talking about Fallout Shelter. That was good. That was a good amount of time. So, Sam, are you ready for Xbox?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay. So, Xbox, I thought it was really good this year. I was impressed by a lot of stuff that they showed. A lot of it, I was like, oh, this looks cool. A lot of it, there was a lot of new ideas. And a lot of, well, there's just a lot of talk around E3. There's a lot of, like, differences in how you can format things. So, like, some companies decide to do it in a way of, like, we'll just show trailers. Some companies are like, we'll show trailers and some demonstrations and, like, give you a little bit of insight and details to what we're motivated to do. Some people don't like it when they tell you what they're motivated to do because they're like, I just want the trailers and the information. And I want to slap those people because it's like, just let it happen. But all of those things I explained, of like showing trailers, showing gameplay, having people talk about it and their motivations, that's all that Xbox did. So let's hop right in to Xbox. Are you ready? I know I've asked you already, but you gotta be double ready. Alright, first thing they talked about, Xbox One S. 40% smaller than the One. Supports 4K and has a slightly better design. Price starts at $299.
$299. That's not horrible.
That's not horrible. So, And it's a slightly better, slightly smaller Xbox. Probably.
Sweet.
I really want to. That was the one thing I was like, if they announce a new Xbox, if they announce a slightly smaller, slightly better Xbox, it is mine and I want it. So.
So, my question for you is,
yes.
So the Xbox S, I guess, the Xbox One S, is it literally the same thing as the Xbox One, but just smaller?
I think it's...
So there will not be exclusive games for it.
I don't believe that there will be exclusive games for it. They wanted to say that no... They kept saying that no system of the Xbox One family will be left behind. So...
Oh, sweet.
So there shouldn't be anything major, and really all that the S should do is maybe make it a... You know... The 1S might have like a little bit less lag at points, you know what I mean?
Or actually maybe they'll
just a little bit sharper.
Have, like, backwards compatibility for it, so you can like use other games for it. Like, is that what it's? Because you said like no family left behind or whatever. So does that mean like backwards compatibility will be like a thing or something?
Maybe. Like, I guess it's really like I don't think. Yeah, like it is the same. They play the same games. It was confirmed that they do play the same games. And I will continue to expand on that because there had such an emphasis in this Xbox press conference on being able to play with friends, making it easier to play with friends.
Yeah.
And just overall, like, they talked about so much stuff. And so many new additions and... Oh, man. There's so much stuff. So, let's just keep talking about stuff. So, they also talked about Xbox Play Anywhere, which is a new thing they're doing, where basically there's specific games, which a lot of them that they talked about today, or rather on the press conference, not today, but you know what I mean. A lot of them are Xbox Play Anywhere, which means you can play them on Xbox One and a Windows 10 PC with shared achievements between them and crossplay between the two of them.
So and actually, the interesting part of that is that I actually just got Windows 10.
Yeah. So, like, you know, if you have a friend who doesn't have an Xbox One, but they have like a super Windows 10 gaming PC for some reason, then you can play with them on certain games. So that's really cool. I really like that, and they really drove that home. Like, they really keep driving this home throughout the whole press conference. So the first thing they talked about was Gears of War 4, which, to me, was pretty much the standard Gears of War experience. They showed off people with guns, shooting things. You know what I mean? Like, just the generic, like, oh, look at this gun. Look at these enemies. Look at us running around and playing with our friends who... And, you know, they made a big deal out of showing, like, this person is playing on an Xbox One. This person is playing on an Xbox One S. This person is playing on a Windows 10 PC. Like, and they kept doing that. They keep doing that. And the next game up, too. The next game is, actually, first they talked a little bit about, I don't know if you've heard of the fighting game Killer Instinct.
Yes, I have. I actually have it on my Xbox One because it was free.
Cool. That's cool.
I think, at least. Or at least I have it on there somehow. I don't know.
It's just there. It got General Ram or Ram, I don't know how you say it, from Gears of War as a playable character. So that's pretty cool. Crossover things. Yay!
Yay! Fun.
So the next thing that really got me excited was they talked about Forza Horizon 3.
Ooh.
Which basically,
I love Forza.
It's a racing game in an open world in Australia. All kinds of different cars. They've said like there's like hundreds of different types of vehicles that you can use.
Sweet.
It has crossplay between Windows 10 and Xbox One, and in that they even showed you. They had the example on stage of so-and-so is playing on their Xbox One, so-and-so is playing on their Xbox One S, so-and-so is playing on their like racing rig for their Windows 10 PC, and they had like a wheel and like a chair.
Oh, that's cool.
And like pedals and like this whole big setup, and it's like
I used to have something like that for my PS2.
I love stuff like that. Like that's so cool.
Fun.
And yeah, they showcased how in that game you can like it's really easy to switch and join your friends' worlds and like race them around and whatnot. It's really cool. Like they showed, for example, like so you're just going around, but then you see that your friend's playing and they challenge you to a race. So then you hit a button and then like it takes like a couple seconds and transports you into their world. And then they're going down the highway, but you take a shortcut through the jungle to meet them on the highway, and then the race begins.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Like, all my racing dreams. It's like, okay, well, Australia, rolling around at the speed of sound.
So, this is awesome for me, though, because I'm someone who owns Forza Motorsport 4. And I played it so much that I became level 50, which is like
Yeah.
2 or 3 times what any of my other friends have ever gotten to in
So
the game.
that's one of the things that I'm majorly looking forward to.
Yeah, and it's like, I played it so much that I had like over, I think I had about 150 cars.
Whoa.
And I basically just gave them to my friends.
That's
I'm not
awesome.
even kidding. Like, I'm like, I have enough money, I can just buy this. I just bought it, gave them like
That's
a
awesome.
car, and they're just like, here you go. And like what I actually did was, because I got affiliated with so many companies, because that game where you get like affiliated to like level 4 or whatever, you can get upgrades for 100% free.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And so what I did was I sort of made like a little paid service thing where like, for like $10,000 or whatever, I would, they would give me their car, and I would give them maximum upgrades for all of it, which for me is free. But I mean, 10,000 is the service, and
that's really good.
Also, I used to also decal cars a lot, so I would like, make them.
That's cool.
Cool. I'll have to show you it when you come over. On Friday.
So like,
yeah, it's really cool. And
when I saw,
play some.
So when I saw Forza Horizon 3, then they showed like here are people having fun playing with their friends, racing against their friends in this 4x4 racing game where you go off road through jungles and on highways and all that. Beautiful. And I looked at that and I was like, I can just imagine myself and Sam just driving across I
feel like we wouldn't even race. We'd just drive around.
We would just drive around Australia at like a normal pace, like look at the wildlife, look at the scenery. Just, oh man,
it's so magical.
It's so magical, and that was how I felt the entire Xbox press conference.
Yeah, I might get that actually. That sounds pretty fun.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? When I was so amped up after this press conference, because it's like no other press conference that I've seen, well, I mean, we'll talk about that at a later date too, has made me feel that much like there, for once, for me, I don't have any consoles. 1, because I just like to save my money. 2, I just like, I need like a certain clarity that there will be a lot of stuff that I really, really want. You know what I mean? So that like I like that nice peace of mind that like there's going to be tons of stuff to do, tons of games, and just never stopping the flood of games. And that's what this press conference did for me. Like, it just showed me, like, look at this game, look at this game, look at that game, look at this game. This is how you can play this with your friends. You can play this with your friends. You can play this with your friends. And it's like, that's really cool. There's just so much stuff. So, let's keep going. The next game, we saw not very much of, called Recore. It was made by the designer of Mega Man, so, I mean, hey, that's pretty cool. Ooh. But showed off some characters and the world. I don't really... There's not much of... It was just like guys fighting robot things. It was kind of weird. But I'm sure we'll find out more about that eventually.
Yeah.
And then after that, they talked about Final Fantasy 15. Whoa!
Oh my gosh.
Which...
Just the fact that it's 15...
The fact that it's 15 is ridiculous. But they kind of focus on doing things. It's cool how they're doing this stuff because like they don't show anything in general. This demo was just the character fighting a really, really big Titan creature. Like this massive, massive creature with like, meanwhile having like support coming in and like freezing it and like jumping over its arms.
Theme starts playing.
Pretty much. There's a lot of stuff like that at E3. A lot of that. But I mean, that's just because Shadow of the Colossus really is like one of the best games that exists. But so a lot of things take inspiration from that. But yeah, so like, really, is it something that I'll play? Probably not, but it's cool nonetheless.
Yeah.
You know, it looks cool. It looks like a polished game that looks nice, so can't really complain. Next up is DLC for The Division, the Underground DLC.
Oh, Division.
Oh, Division.
I wanted to get that game so badly.
Yep. So, the Underground DLC, to my knowledge, has randomly generated tunnels and subways beneath New York.
Sweet.
So,
that sounds pretty awesome.
So basically, underground. I mean, it makes sense.
Underground.
The enemies escaped to underground, so to take the city back, let's probably go underground and stop the enemies. Yay!
Face.
Woo! Next, they showed the same trailer for Battlefield 1 that they showed in the EA conference, but they revealed that if you have the EA Access program for the Xbox, you can play Battlefield 1 on October 18th, which is earlier, probably like a week or so earlier. You can play it earlier, and that's the purpose of EA Access, so pretty cool.
Sweet.
Pretty cool stuff. Next thing they talked about.
EA Access if I don't already.
Oh man, I forgot about this. This is why I didn't, but... So, Sam, what's a game that I hold near and dear to my heart?
Phoenix, right?
No.
Not that one?
What's a game that I play almost every day?
Is it that... Wait, what was it called? Crap, I don't remember the name of it.
No, it's not that.
It's not the thing I can't remember the name of.
That's right, it's not that.
But what if it is the thing?
It's not, because you will remember the name of this thing that I'm talking about.
I don't know. I can't think of it.
What is a game that recently updated to version 1.10 on PC?
Oh, Minecraft.
So, next, they talked about the long-awaited Minecraft Realms that work on everything else but the normal PC version, because they've been saying that that's coming for a long time. So, Minecraft Realms now exists for Xbox One Minecraft, Windows 10 Minecraft, and Pocket Edition Minecraft. Windows 10 and Pocket Edition are basically the same, but the Xbox One, well, basically the Pocket Edition now has Xbox Live achievements attached to it.
Oh.
And is now basically completely Xboxenized. And with the Minecraft Realms that are for Xbox One, Windows 10, and Pocket Edition versions of Minecraft, you can play with anyone from any of those things. So if somebody has Xbox One Minecraft, they have a realm, you can play on that realm with someone who's just on their phone. So, cool.
That is awesome.
It's cool. So, it's neat. They did a nice little cheesy presentation of a couple of the developers being like, oh hey, so-and-so's on. Oh, hey, what you doing? Oh, I'm just taking this minecart ride over here. And, like, they built this nice little city. It was nice. And they revealed more in-app purchase stuff. You know, like, they were like, now we have texture packs for Pocket Edition, which you have to pay for, but...
99 cents each.
But, hey. And, yeah. So, they just basically revealed that, hey, look at us. We can make Minecraft realms. So... That's cool. It's a cool addition, and it's cool that they're working together with Xbox to make cool things. I like cool things. So,
yeah, I do too.
I mean, who doesn't like cool things? Cool. If you don't like cool things, what's wrong with you?
You.
So, next up, they showed a little bit of a game called Inside. Not too much, but
Inside Out. No,
it's by the developer of Limbo, and it's in that same kind of style. You remember Limbo, the game about the boy that was in the forest?
Yes.
But the forest was also like hell or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember the game.
That was the thing.
Pretty weird.
Pretty weird. But, like, it was one of the first games that, like, my cousins showed me on Xbox, actually. So.
Oh, really?
Pretty cool. Yeah. I didn't used to care, like, anything about Xbox games. Hold on. I'll be... Okay. I'm alive. Okay. So. They talked about Inside a bit. Darn, it didn't work. I didn't poison. Oh, no.
You didn't die.
Then they showed a sizzle reel of, like, a lot of games. A lot of stuff. That was a lot of stuff. So, you may have seen stuff about Cuphead. It's like a cup with feet, and it's like a platformer, and it's kind of weird looking. It's cool.
That just sounds weird.
It's weird. It looks weird. Outlast 2, which, you know, spooky, spooky. Ooh, I remember Outlast 1 being very spooky. So.
Just like all the Outlasts.
All the Outlasts, yes. Then Deliver Us the Moon,
million.
Which apparently Deliver Us the Moon is a game in which you attempt to extract resources and save humanity by exploring the moon.
Wow.
A game called Far, which is described as an atmospheric vehicle adventure. Slime Rancher is coming to Xbox.
Oh, Slime Rancher. I actually might get it if it's for, like, once it comes out for Xbox.
Yep.
Because it looked pretty fun, but I'm like, I don't know if my PC would like to run.
And then a bunch of games that yeah, I know the feel. Then a bunch of games that they just ran through: Shadow Tactics, Figment, For the King, Beacon, Stardew Valley. All of these things. Hopefully, the sizzle reel is there. It should be there in my collection of trailers. Hopefully, I can find that. And if not, there are plenty of videos of the full Xbox conference in which that can be viewed in. So you can see the footage from all these things, other than just my names for them, because there's a lot of them. So, and like they just showed like a couple seconds of footage and a name for each one. So that's cool, but whatever. So I said Figment, For the King, Beacon, and then they confirmed that Stardew Valley is coming to like all consoles pretty much.
Ooh!
It's coming to pretty much everything. So
I was gonna get that too.
That's cool. I will.
Oh, I'm getting it for my Xbox.
We'll enjoy that. Yeah. And then card game called Hand of Fate 2. And a game called Below. And that's the end of the sizzle reel where they just showed footage of 100 different games that I have no way to describe to you.
Yay.
Yeah! Alright. So then they showed a really creepy game. To me, like, I was really unsettled by it, called We Happy Few.
What's it supposed to be?
So it showed a guy, and like he's in this. I guess they're in like this like. I guess it's kind of like a bunker. I don't know how to describe it, but he's like in this nice room, and like he's like really spazzing out, and he has these pills in his hand, but he doesn't take them, and he slams them down. And then like everything is all happy and like positive. But then, like, as he walks through and, like, he's starting to see things for, like, they're different. Instead of being all happy and vibrant, they're, like, gray and, like, really creepy. And, like, a woman walks in and she's like, oh, we got the piñata. Come on down to the birthday party. And then he goes down to the birthday party and then... But he didn't take the pills, so... Which, apparently, the pills are the joy drug. And... He didn't take the pills, and then they're like, all right, it's time to open the piñata, and then it cuts to you see him. Then you don't see the piñata anymore. You see the what it really is, which is a dead animal that they that they just smack with a bat. Of course, the main guy reacts, and then they're like, he's a downer! He's a downer! Somebody get him! And then he runs off, and then he gets beaten up by thugs as he tries to escape. So, We Happy Few.
That sounds scary.
Looks a bit weird, yeah. It's a bit, dark narrative. It's spooky. So, yeah, that was We Happy Few. I was a little bit unsettled.
Just a teensy bit.
Just a little bit. Then they talked about Tekken 7, which is coming to PC and Xbox One next year. Woo, Tekken. Woo, fighting games. Woo, games. Games are great. Then, they talked about another game that I think is cool. Dead Rising 4.
Oh, snap. Is that a golf game?
No. Is that a...
horrible joke?
Is that a walking simulator?
Walking?
But, specifically, it continues the wacky outfits, the wacky items and weapons, and wacky zombies. But, there's one thing, Sam, that the continuity-loving piece of my heart loves. Do you know what that is? I believe it's been said that this one takes 16 years? That might be wrong. I can't remember. But my brain is remembering 16 years after the first Dead Rising game. And it's the actual return of Frank West, the photographer from the first game.
Oh, snap.
16 years later. And he's back. He's still in that town, and he's still at the mall.
But why is he still in that town and the mall? Why is he still there?
I don't know. I mean, he's probably just stomping around there, honestly. Like, not much else to do. But...
I don't even...
So, and the trailer is great. Apparently, his camera now, when you're in his camera, there's like different buttons you can push for him to make like a stupid selfie face. So now taking pictures has become taking stupid selfies with a horde of zombies.
Oh my gosh.
While having and they've shown ridiculous new abilities. Like there's a power suit that makes you there's a power suit that makes you super strong. It's all this crazy stuff. And it looks good. And it's cool. And it's all the craziness that you've come to know and love from Dead Rising. So
True.
With the return of Frank West, which, I mean, he was great. I love him. So...
Ew. Okay.
I love him. No. Next up, they talked about Scalebound, which is literally a multiplayer game where you fight dragons. And they did a nice big thing of showing people fight dragons with bows and arrows and shooting them with bows and arrows, which looked very ineffective, but then they did it, and they killed it, and it was good. So, there you go. Then, they showed Sea of Thieves, which is a game from Rare, who's made many, many, many good games in the years of time.
Which is definitely not Rare. Jokes.
But basically, Sea of Thieves is a multiplayer exploration game where you and a team of friends control a pirate ship, and you literally you use that pirate ship to explore around, battle other pirate ships, and search for treasure and stuff. It looks pretty cool. So
I might get it just because then it means friendship and stuff.
That's right.
And pirates.
So next up, I have possibly the least information on this next game. So are you ready for the next game, of which I have written down 2 words, and that is all I will say?
I think so.
State of Decay 2. More zombies. On to the next game.
I'm getting it. I love that game.
That's all you really need to say, isn't it? More zombies. They're driving a car, and then they stop the car at a gas station, and then they wipe the blood off of the front of the car. And then that is the trailer.
That's literally the trailer?
Yes. So, next up is the other thing that you happened upon the name of, but you didn't quite recall what it was, so I was like, that is completely acceptable. Halo Wars 2.
Oh my gosh.
Will be a direct sequel to the story of the original, and will feature a new section of Covenant enemies called the Banished. And Halo Wars 2 is coming out on February 21st, 2017.
Oh my gosh. I love Halo Wars. I think that I was one of the... Hold on. I don't remember. Okay, so I remember, I think a lot of people didn't like it or something, but I absolutely adored it.
I know.
I loved every second of it.
I believe my cousins played it too. So I saw it a long time ago. Yeah.
And I'm glad.
Cool. I'm glad that you're glad. And, alright, so they had one last reveal. That was the last game they talked about. But they have one last thing that they talked about, and that is Project Scorpio. a powerful variant of the Xbox One that promises the power to be a 4K gaming console. Really powerful, really good, as explained by one of the head Xbox guys, will really only benefit you if you have a 4K TV. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's basically if you have high-end stuff, money to blow, they've promised that they're making a powerful, high-end, money-to-blow console. So, cool.
Yay.
If you really want that power that, devs might decide to use, that's the thing. They've confirmed that it has 6 teraflops, which, I don't know if you know what a teraflop is. I had no idea what a teraflop was, but I looked it up, and I believe it's something around... I'm not a major computing nerd, so do not criticize me for not memorizing the definition. But it's a way of computing that is... It's like a million, like, per second computing power, or something like that. It's a lot of computing power for 6 teraflops. So, yeah. So, that'll exist. No Xbox One of the Xbox One family, including Project Scorpio, will be left behind. So, we're assuming that there won't be any games that are only exclusive for them, you know? Like, they might be able to take advantage of different abilities from them, and, like, a little bit more hardware-wise, but other than that, they'll all be a good, happy family.
Yay.
And that was the Xbox conference.
Woo!
So what do you think of the Xbox conference, Sam?
I think that this is making me want more games.
That's true.
I'm excited for State of Decay 2. I'm excited for Halo Wars. I'm excited for the Forzas. And I'm pretty much excited for everything. I mean, there's a couple games that I'm like, whatevs, but...
Yeah. But that's how it always
honestly,
is. So.
Yeah. But, like, you know, for the most part, I'm totally psyched.
Woo!
I'm pretty ready.
I'm pretty ready, too. So, I thought that was a really good conference. A lot of people really liked the Sony conference, which we will talk about coming up. But, I mean, I feel like the Sony conference would be a lot better if I had a PS4.
Yeah.
If I had a PS4, I'm sure I'd be excited about the PlayStation conference because, like...
Well, weren't you excited about some Xbox stuff?
I'm much more excited about Xbox stuff. There are a couple of games that I would want from PlayStation, but not enough to warrant me getting one without just having money to blow, you know?
Yeah.
So, yet again, we'll get back to that.
But hopefully you will join us in the world of Xbox.
I will. I hope so. So,
I hope you do too.
The world of Xbox. So,
Xbox.
All right, Sam. So next up, let's take a look at what do you think's next? Take a guess. What press conference is next?
I don't know.
It's Ubi 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 Dooby Dooby Scooby Doo soft.
Ubi Dooby Doo. Where are you?
Let's do it. All right. Now on to the next conference, which is Scooby Dooby Ooby Dooby Scooby Wooby Soft.
Hi, I'm back again.
Sam is still here. So
I'm still here. We've been waiting for like 3 days, just sitting here waiting for you guys to watch the next segment.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So, yeah, that's just kind of what happened.
Yeah, just a bit of what happened. Just kind of. So, are you ready for Ubisoft, Sam? Or Ubisoft? I don't know how they want it to be said these days. I really don't. But
the Oobs.
The Oobs. Okay, that's it. They're now called the Oobs. So, the first game they announced was Just Dance 2017. Whoa! I bet you weren't expecting that one, Sam.
Dude, I was never seeing that coming at all.
There hasn't been like 20 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just reflecting the other day, actually, how like I can't remember what Just Dance it was. But back in the day, I had a friend come over, and we went, and this was completely by his request. We were like, he asked me, like, can we just go to a Redbox and see if they have a Just Dance game, and then we can just dance like idiots? And I was like, that's a great idea. So we went to Redbox, and we got a Just Dance game for the Wii, and then we just danced to really stupid songs, and it was great. And then we were really tired, and then I don't remember what we did after that. So that's that story.
Who is that even with?
It was with my friend Silas. I don't know if he was ever around when you were around.
Are you saying that he's dead? No.
I don't know. I just can't remember. I can't remember if he was... I can't remember when he graduated. He graduated my sophomore year? Maybe, I don't know. Can't remember. Point regardless, I played Just Dance once, and it was fun. And now, since then, they've made, like, 7 more. So...
That is true.
So, I really... Okay, I'm going to be honest here. I really don't have that much about Ubisoft stuff, the Oobs stuff. Like, I have the details that I can get, you know what I mean? But other than that, like, it's just kind of general stuff for Ubisoft and then general stuff for Sony. So we're just going to try and breeze through it like cool guys. And just like before, I will have the playlist of all of the announcements and stuff that I've made from videos that are available on YouTube, and then you'll just be able to go through, look at all of the things, and then see all the things for yourself like a wizard. So, without further ado, let's do the next thing that they talked about, which was Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, which is supposedly the largest action-adventure open-world Ubisoft has ever done. I don't know anything about it other than that. So, yeah.
So basically, that's a thing that exists.
Basically, that's a thing. Tom Clancy is... His name's still being pasted onto things. I see. It's good.
Even though he's been dead for like 3 years, I think. 3 years, something like that.
They should have a crossover between Tom Clancy and Sid Meier, because they both just have their names plastered to everything.
Tom Meyer.
Tom Meyer. Tom Meyer, the king. Tom Myers.
Tom Sid Meier Clancy. Having like 4 first names.
That's amazing. But
Tom Sid Meier Clancy.
Oh man, I don't even want to talk about. I mean, I do want to talk about Civilization here, but I'll save that for another time because I've been really into Civilization lately. So it's been good. All right, next thing they talked about was the next. So a couple of years back, they came out with the South Park game, Stick of Truth, and a lot of people really liked it because, you know, it's what a South Park game should be. And, you know, that's not for a lot of people, and I don't care about South Park, so I don't really care. You know, but...
Yeah, I don't either.
But it's just not for me, you know, so whatever.
Yeah.
That's completely fine. But they came up with a second game. It's called The Fractured But Whole. Now reading it out loud for the first time. For the first time, I've realized that there's butthole in that title.
Pretty much.
I've seen that title about 100 times, and I never ever thought that before.
I don't know what to say to that.
I don't know what to say to that either. I think we should just end the video because I am a disgrace. I'm like questioning my life right now because I was like, oh, I don't really understand that title, but this is a weird title. But now I see this is butthole in it. What a funny joke. More quality jokes like that, go to southpark.com//South Park.
/.com.
Yeah, but it's a direct sequel
That's
to The Stick of Truth. Yes, it is a reference. And it's about superheroes, and they're all superheroes, and they want to make their own convoluted superhero movie cinematic universe thing. You know, like all movies do these days.
Pretty
with
much.
their cinematic universes. So, yeah. It's available in December, so that's a thing. And if you like the first game, that's cool. Wow. So, Yeah. They talked about a game called Eagle Flight. I don't know anything about that because it was a VR game and that's all that my information told me. So, yeah. Eagle Flight. Aren't you excited, Sam?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited that I don't even know what that is.
Me too. So next, there's Star Trek Bridge Crew VR, which is literally, as I've said in my notes, this is another one. Sometimes, so I made these notes a long time ago now, and I completely forgot that some of my notes are just beautiful, while some of them are just really nothing. So, ever want to pretend to be in Star Trek with your friends? Now you can! Yay,
That's
VR.
cool.
So, yeah. And then there's a game that I don't really know.
Approves the Star Trek.
Woo! Yeah, I'm sure that'd be cool. I mean, you just get, get your rich friends together that all have
$300 goggles.
Damn. Well,
and then and then go into their empty room in their giant mansion.
Pretty much.
to do that.
Hey, you want to come over and play Star Trek Virtual Reality Experience? Yeah, sure. Yeah, just bring over your $600 equipment.
Although virtual reality, that was really cool. Like,
yeah, it is cool.
Especially the Job Simulator one. That is just awesome.
I just think that
it's hilarious.
Like, it's just kind of too expensive at this point, you know?
Yeah.
And it has to be, but it's just like for all the companies to say like VR is the future, and there were companies that were saying like every this isn't really, I don't remember where I saw this from, so like, believe it at your own risk, but there was one company that was working on VR stuff that said like there would be more in the future, more VR than more people with like VR equipment than like cell phones.
Wow.
And it's like, I don't think that's ever gonna happen because like
then again,
not everybody has that kind of.
People didn't think television would really go anywhere.
That's true.
But it really just has to do with the time.
Yeah.
Like, right now it feels like, that doesn't really feel like it'd be a thing. And then it just starts getting bigger and bigger because it gets more and more realistic. And then it's like, more and more better, like TV did. Like, when it first started out, TV was super expensive and you only have like 2 channels for it. But then now it's like insane. Every person has like 2 of them in their house. Like each, on average. So it's like, it's just giant now, but
But then again, think of like 3D TVs. Like, think about there was a time when they were like, 3D, it's revolutionary, and then that passed very quickly.
That is true. That is also true. Because now it's just like, whatever.
Yeah, because Nintendo tried back in the day with the Virtual Boy. And they were like, 3D! And then everyone was like, no, we're not ready for this yet. And then...
It was ahead of its time, but behind the time as well, at the same time, I feel like.
I think it was just a matter of, like, it was just oddly ahead of and behind of its time at the same time. Like,
it's super weird.
People weren't ready for that yet. And even when they came out with, like, much better 3D for the 3DS, people still weren't ready for it.
True.
So, what are you going to do? But...
Nothing at all, actually.
I'm going to do absolutely nothing. I'm going to sit in my bunker, and I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to have my can of beans and my spoon, and I'm going to spoon the beans into my mouth, and I'm going to say, beans, I am outside of any conflict of the moral world.
If I was trapped in a giant bunker with, like, a literal lifetime supply of beans, I would be okay.
Yeah.
Because beans are delicious. I mean, like, all types of beans. If it was just one type, then
Yeah.
But beans are delicious, so I'm cool with that.
What if they were just, like, really delicious baked beans? They were...
Oh, I love baked beans. They're good.
What if they were really crappy baked beans, though?
If they were crappy baked beans...
Because, like, with baked beans, you have to agree. Alright, this is probably a first. In an E3 related video, we are talking about baked beans. But
that is true.
Baked beans are like, when they're done right, delicious. If they're done poorly, they're subpar at best.
Pretty much.
Which is our new slogan, subpar at best. So, yeah.
New slogan.
So that's Baked Beans. Thank you for listening to Baked Bean Chat. They also talked about a game called For Honor, which, yet again, I don't even know that much about. I don't even remember that much. And, yeah, I'm just a poo. So...
Just a poo.
I'm just a poo. So... these are my notes, and yet again, the trailer will be in the description, because I am a poo, and I apologize for that. So,
and it's your fault.
Yes, it is. Carve a path of destruction in For Honor, a brand new action game with visceral melee combat. Master unique warrior factions. Choose your hero among 3 legendary warrior factions: the Knights, Vikings, and Samurai. Memorable story campaign. Storm castles in massive battles and confront deadly bosses to ensure the survival of your people against a mysterious and deadly foe. Whoa!
Sounds pretty interesting.
And groundbreaking multiplayer. Own the battlefield with your band of warriors online or via split-screen co-op. Which... Hallelujah! They instantly win a point for having split screen.
Yay!
In a world where split screen co-op is slowly dying because developers are dumb. One game says, we'll add it in.
And we're cool with that.
Yeah, we're cool with that. Oh, there's more. I thought it was over, but it's not. It's not over yet. Art of Battle combat system. Feel the weight of your weapon and the power and impact of every strike.
Dang.
And that's what I have for Honor, or for Glory, or whatever that game is called.
Whatever I just said.
For nachos. Okay, next up, they had Grow Up, which is a sequel to last year's platformer, Grow Home. I don't really know that much about Grow Home, but I remember...
Oh, I know a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was an indie thing, right?
Yeah.
You could grow.
It looked pretty okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's the thing. And they also... Next is a game that's already out, and I think might have came out like as soon as they announced it, which was Trials of the Blood Dragon. So, you know the Trials series, the good old biking, flipping...
Oh, that, yeah.
And Far Cry Blood Dragon. I can't speak today, or ever. Whenever I record, I always screw up, and then I say, I can't speak today. So, by association, the viewer will assume that I can never speak, which is not true. But, the point is, Trials of the Blood Dragon. It is somewhat true, but not totally true, because I have a very vast vocabulary, and I will have you know that. So, Trials of the Blood Dragon. It's the Trials series, and Far Cry Blood Dragon, that DLC that everyone kind of liked. It's a game that's both of those things. It's both of those things. You do radical 80s bike flips while going past explosions. Woo. That's what I've written down on that. That's literally it. You can buy it now. It's a standalone game.
Oh, snap.
I like how as this goes on, and I get less to say, I'm, becoming more and more insane. Slowly but surely.
True. Pretty true.
Okay, so, next up, they talked about Watch Dogs 2! The second of the Watch Dogs. So,
I want it. I own Watch Dogs.
I need it.
Watch Dogs is awesome, honestly.
Yeah.
It's an amazing game. It's really fun. Except I don't think it has much for replayability. I never got any DLC, so I don't know if those were good, but
yeah.
From my initial gameplay, I loved it, and it was awesome, and I loved pretty much everything about it.
Cool. So, I'm just taking down general notes on Watch Dogs 2.
Although I wish it was more like I wish I had more like GTA physics, where crashes and stuff like that would be like that, and not like Battlefield physics. Because Battlefield physics do not work with that game.
Yeah. All right.
It
so
doesn't. It really doesn't.
Here are some informations.
Okay.
Some informations, not some information. Here is some information. No, here are some informations about the Watch Dogs 2. Players will explore a birthplace of Tech Revolution as Marcus Holloway, a brilliant young hacker who has fallen victim to CTOS 2.0's predictive algorithms and is accused of a crime he did not commit. In Marcus's quest to shut down CTOS 2.0 for good, hacking is the ultimate weapon. And players can not only hack into the city's infrastructure, but also every person and any connected device they possess to trigger unpredictable chain of events.
So basically, they made it even better than it already was.
Yes.
I'm very cool with that. I approve. I
love that. I knew you'd be excited about this. That was nice.
It's Watch Dogs, and Watch Dogs is awesome.
It's nice. I know that you played it, but I didn't really know that much else.
It's a really good game.
That's cool. All right, so next, I still have a lot more notes on this. Like, that was like half of the notes I had. So here we go, back into me reading the notes. Not even trying to paraphrase anymore. Now I'm just excitedly reading my notes. So enjoy them. Enjoy my notes. I'm getting really angry. Sorry.
It's like, you calm down.
Okay, so wow, I'm gonna look insane on camera here. That's all right. I don't care. I am insane. With the ability to take control of drones, cars, cranes, security robots, and much more at their disposal, players can choose whether to use stealth hacking to complete missions without killing a single enemy, or go guns blazing.
I kind of like both ways, so I'm not really sure
what
to do.
I like to do a little combination of both in games like that.
Because what I did in the game or whatever is, like, I would, like, go up to a base and, like, I would not fire a single bullet, but I would end up, like, killing everyone, even though, like, they were, like, shooting at me.
You just gotta find a way.
Because it's like, I played the game so much that I pretty much knew, like, how to do everything and, like, where it would activate, which is, like, the only real way you can do really well in that game, because it's like, if you know the area of effect of any sort of thing, and then you know what you're hacking, then you can pretty much plan it to where, like, they would get knocked out by it. Yeah. And, like, so, like, every single time I do that, I felt like a boss. I'm like, this is awesome.
All right, so
that's what I have to say on that.
And now, for the last bit of my notes on what Watch Dogs. In this vast open world, players can hack their way through traffic while engaging in dangerous car chases through the winding streets of San Francisco, traverse the rooftops of the vibrant neighborhoods of Oakland, and infiltrate the offices of cutting-edge companies in Silicon Valley. So,
what was the title of that place?
Silicon Valley?
Silicon Valley. You know, it might just be me, but I'm pretty sure that has to do with technology.
I mean...
Because silicon is used in a lot of technology things.
I mean, how would you get that idea, Sam? I don't know how you get that idea. And then, of course, the last thing in my notes, they talked a little bit about Steep, an extreme winter sports game.
Yay.
Where you do extreme winter sports. And that is the Ubisoft press conference.
Woo!
Do. So now we're gonna hop straight into Sony. That's right. We're gonna go for a 2-for-1. We're gonna finish this bad boy. Let's do it. Are you ready, Sam?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. So basically, Sony's press conference. All the Sony fans really loved it. I thought it was a pretty good press conference, but it comes down to personal preference.
That's true.
Because they pretty much just showed games, you know? And that was their way of doing it. That was how they wanted to progress. You know, that's how they wanted to do it. So they did it that way. It's different from how everybody else does it, and everybody else wants something different from a press conference. So I like being told how to feel because I am a casual consumer, and I am an ultimate scrub lord, and I like to be told exactly how I should feel at all moments, and not create any feelings for myself on anything, and only accept what is fed to me with a spoon through the current media.
Wow.
Just kidding. I'm not like that at all. If you can't tell that, then yeah. So
then yeah.
So basically, they started off. They had a live orchestra the whole time, which is pretty cool. So they started off. They played some songs for like, what seemed like forever. Yeah.
So I approve.
And then they showed the new God of War game, which within all naming regulations of games now. The title that they showed, I mean, you never know. You could get a different title. But with all naming of games anymore, the only name that was given was God of War. So, yay for that naming convention continuing. That we just drop all numbers and just call the game The Thing again. So, Kratos has a beard. He has a son. And they're, like, hunting stuff in the wilderness. So, yeah. And then there's a giant, and then they push the giant off a cliff. And... oh, yeah, and then they finally find the deer that they're hunting, and then they shoot the deer, and then Kratos is like... oh, yeah, and then they kill the deer. That's right. And then they're like, oh, well, we're going to... I can't remember what Kratos says, but he says, like, it's a brave new world. Right, that's not what he says at all. But
civilization.
And then they look out into the distance,
reference.
And then the distance, there's like dragons and stuff flying, and it's like,
Dragons.
whoa! So, yeah, I mean, God of War. Pretty cool, but yet again, haven't played any of the other God of War games, don't really feel the need to, and don't have a PlayStation, so... but that's how... okay, this is going to be my main point with the Sony press conference. It's like, if I had a PS4, then, like, yeah, sure, I'd probably play a lot of these games. But I don't, and there's nothing that makes me specifically want to get it. I'm not really a fanboy in any way of anything, really. I mean, other than maybe a fanboy of Nintendo, but... but I like everything. I'm equal opportunity. I'm an equal opportunity gamer. So, next they showed a little bit of a game called Days Gone, which was, of course, a game which, it's a zombie game. It's about a guy in the wilderness. Well, not like it, well, I mean, like the cars stopped working or something like that. And then everything kind of stopped working. And then it was like, okay, well... and they didn't really show any zombies in that trailer. At the very end, they went back and they showed more Days Gone. And he was, like, walking through, like, this, it's like a lumber mill area, I guess you could call it. And then, like, this massive... There's a lot of zombies. There's a lot of zombies. Like... it wouldn't be a stretch to say that he was being chased by, like, 200 zombies. So... there's a lot of them. At least. There's a lot of zombies. So, that's that. Next, there was a short release date given for The Last Guardian, which I don't know anything about, and apparently they've been making it for a long time. So, maybe I should know something about it, but I don't. And we're going basically off of what is told to us, and all that they gave was a release date that, like a total... poop, I didn't even write down. So, GG me. GG me. So, yeah. Next, they talked about Horizon Zero Dawn. So, it was a game, there was a woman, and she was running through, like, this field, and, like, there's, like, robo-dinosaur things, and, like, you fight the dinosaurs, and you can, like, hack the dinosaurs or something. I don't know.
Hack into them.
Well, they're like robots, so it's weird. Like, a lot of stuff is like that. And yet again, looks pretty cool, but yet again, don't have a PlayStation, so I don't care.
It's like,
Next, they showed off
literally
Detroit Become Human, which is, I guess, just a game about... to my knowledge, it's a game about, like, a, kind of like a cyborg type, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but, like, there's different ways to come to the end of things, so the trailer they showed off was, like, a guy with a girl, and he was gonna, like, jump off a building, but there's, like, multiple ways that could turn out based on how things happened. So, like, you could, like, figure out a different way to do it, and so it showed a bunch of different ways that scene could turn out. So, yet again, I mean, pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Yet again, don't have a PlayStation, so that's just. I think you get the point of trying to hammer home here. Is that like that's how I feel about all of this stuff. It's just like if I had a PlayStation, okay, that's cool. You know, maybe I'd play that if it was good, but I don't. So it's just not super interesting to me. Next. Guess what they talked about, Sam? The same thing that everybody else talked about. VR! But they actually showed some pretty cool stuff. So, there's a Batman game. There's a Batman VR game made by Rocksteady. Where, they didn't show any actual footage of it. But I guess people did get to play it at E3 in like a closed way, you know. But yeah, you get to be Batman and like look at the scene and stuff and cool and like put on the suit. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Pretty cool way to use VR. So yeah. Then they showed Resident Evil 7, which was the one that a lot of people were like, whoa! But it apparently grew from a demo that was for PlayStation VR, which was called The Kitchen. And they started out with showing up, it said like The Kitchen, but then it slowly like they revealed the title of Resident Evil 7. So it's like, oh, so The Kitchen is Resident Evil 7. But
oh, I see.
Other than that, it's really...
I was super confused because I'm like, why would they call it The Kitchen?
But yeah, very spooky. It's very spooky, scary game, and yeah, there's a demo for it, and it's spooky.
Shivers down the spine.
Yeah, spooky, scary skeletons. Okay, so next. Oh wow, we are really tearing through, Sam. We're almost there. We can do it. We can do it. Okay, so next. Do you know of the wonder and obsession that people have with Hideo Kojima? The guy who did games such as Metal Gear Solid, 1272, 1293, 47. He makes a bunch of games. There's a big controversy with him, and he left and he made his own new studio. And then they were like, oh, we're going to do stuff. So then they did stuff, and we got the weirdest trailer of all of E3, which will, yet again, be in the description. And it was weird. It was a bit weird. So there was the big thing that they wanted to point out in the trailer was that it had Norman Reedus in it, which I'm a nerd, so I don't really. I'm so much of a nerd that I had never heard of Norman Reedus before, but whatever. So Norman Reedus was there. He was naked. He was walking through this field. He like picks up a baby off the ground, and it's weird.
What?
It's weird, and there's like weird stuff in the sky, and it's weird. It's weird.
What am I supposed to say to this?
I don't know. But if you watch the trailer, which you should after this, you'll be like, I don't know. There wasn't even any game. There's no game there. It was just like, there's no game. It's called Death Stranding. So we don't know anything about it.
Wow.
And
I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Next thing they showed was they're making, I should say, this is the last thing to talk about. There was a couple of things that I skipped over. But they're making a Spider-Man game, and it looked pretty cool graphically, and it looked pretty cool polish-wise. Everyone there's always an obsession with like a Spider-Man game where you can just swing around and have fun. So, yeah. I mean, everybody likes a Spider-Man game, I think, you know?
Yeah.
Like a good one. I mean, there's been some crappy ones, but whenever one is like remotely good, people are like, yeah, Spider-Man. So, Spider-Man. And then, of course, there are a couple things that I left out of that. Particularly, they did a lot of talking about, well, not a lot, but it was like a pretty long demo for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Which game. We see a man running and shooting. We actually saw gameplay now, like a good gameplay trailer, and we see a man running through space, shooting people on a space station in space. in space. Because we already talked about this before. Like, it's why we're excited for Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
Because, like, you just want... I want real war. I'm just tired of space war, future war. Like, I don't know. You don't need space war. What good is space war? I don't know. Why do you need to have war in space? Why can't you have war on Earth? Why is war in space? Why not war on Earth? But that is what I have to talk about for that stuff. So, there's some stuff that got left out, as there always is, but yet again, you'll be able to find that stuff. But there's one more thing. There's one more thing. I found these headphones right here. There's one more thing that we haven't talked about, and we're going to talk about it in a special episode. That's right. Something that I think that I can talk about for a good 30 minutes on its own right. So,
oh man.
Next time, when we come back for the next episode, I will have already shown Sam. I will send the link to this trailer, and then we will do a thing on it, because I have a lot to say about it. So, next time on the Ryan thing, we're going to talk about The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Oh man.
See you guys then.
Goodbye.